just okay.
Start the show already. Sheesh.
Let's start the show already. Sheesh, well, we can't do that. Yeah, we got more.
Yeah. Clicking cap off. Welcome to the master. I'm your daily dose of you won't ever guess. Dripping on the timeline, spicy ever take. I season the bin in the neck, serve it on a plate. This is ketchup commentary, tangy kinda daddy. Sweet with the sting when the flakes get sweaty. Feisty on the mic, every word got bite. You came for mile, you won't ask tonight. Yeah.
Rubbing that thing, babe, this is about to get red. Name in your mouth, I'll live in your hand.
Clap and bang, it's about to get red. Flame in your mouth, I'll live in your hand.
Hey, it's just Hip and Ketchup. How are you, my friends? How are you? Good morning, good morning. How are you, Ketchup?
I'm good, Jay. How are you? How was work?
Man, work was not pleasant. Oh, even though it was only 7 hours, so there was that was good. But they were short-handed last night, so I had to run an area that I'm not familiar with very well. And let's just say, oh man, it was work. It was work. I did get to eat a little bit of my lunch, so that was good, I guess. Not all of my lunch, just a small portion, because I was so busy. Oh man, because I had to do my actual job, and
You had to do your job plus the other job?
Yes, yeah, I had to do.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I had to do 2-in-1. It was a 2-in-1 day, and so yeah, I had to do that. But I did get a chance to listen to Flea Bag show, and that was pretty good. Now, did you enjoy the show over there?
Oh yeah, it was chock full of stupid last night.
So we had apparently 38 new members on the show or something,
Hey,
because
Peculiar.
it was loud as all hell. Hi, Peculiar. My understanding is it didn't seem like Tammy was having a fun time.
Not so much.
And then Starbucks became a moderator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and
I think she bought a wrench, didn't she?
Yeah, she bought a wrench for $300 super chat that Starbucks sent over. And well, let's see. That means we had to open up 300 pull tabs. All right, this took an hour and a half. Tammy seemed thrilled about that. She was like, I think we could stop now. Can we stop now? Bonnie's like, it only cost her $300.
Right. And I was texting with Peculiar last night, and when that happened, I was like, haha, Peculiar, you got yours for free.
It was amazing. And no, I enjoyed every last minute of the pull tab moments. Now, it started off, I guess they were having a party with their neighbors. And their neighbors were all in the garage, and they were all talking over everybody. Tammy couldn't get a word in. And then after about an hour, Gabe wrangled up the crowd and took them inside, I guess. Took them inside, and then because she was getting ready to talk about germ stuff, right? The germ. All right.
Germ.
Jay, are you peeping? You're wrecking the show. What? I'm wrecking the show? What are you talking? What are you talking about, faves? By the way, yesterday I was thanking the moderators and stuff, and I forgot Serena. I caught that on the replay because I normally don't rewatch my shows, but yesterday I did rewatch a portion of that one at the end, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but thank you for all you do, Serena. Thank you, my friend. Because I'd mentioned all the mods except Zarina. So thank you, Zarina. Thank you, my friend, for all that you do over here. You're wonderful. And I think I mentioned Good Bonnie. I don't know, but Good Bonnie, thank you so much. But it was a pretty good show last night. Then let's see. Flea Bag decided to rage for an hour after the first hour. She just went on a rage for an hour, and nobody else could say anything. And then she kept leaving Tammy to her own devices while she would disappear occasionally. This was after pull tab time.
Mm-hmm. And Tammy was even like, I'm doing something right now.
She's like, I'm not even keeping track of Kofi. I'm just chatting in chat at this point. I'm so done with this. It was the best show ever.
It was pretty good last night. Pretty funny.
As Zach says, I'm identifying that I'm here right now. Or that I'm here. Happy now? Oh, we are happy that you're here, Zach. Yes, if you could go ahead and time out Jeremy Hills if he shows up, we'd appreciate that.
Hey, Zach. No, don't tell him that, because Zach takes you seriously if you say that.
Don't do that, Zach, for God's sakes. Thank you for the 2, my friend. Thank you. And I didn't know if you noticed this, but Jack's mom gifted 5. Just J-Hit memberships. If you get one of those, thank Jack's mom. She works hard for money, and well, we're clown losers over here, and it's weird in here, but you'll get used to it.
Well,
Roz did a lot better job yesterday.
no, I'm not Roz.
Thank you, Jack's mom. Thank you, my friend. Now, today we're going to continue on with our Darrell Brooks show. As much as I would like to talk about the Flea Bag show last night, they didn't really have a show. I mean, it was Flea Bag ranting for an hour straight, and then pull tabs where she would occasionally rant again a little bit here and there. Of course, she brought up the memorial again. Apparently that's, and she made it clear she's going to bring this up in court if she gets a chance to testify. She's going to pull up this memorial.
Oh yeah, I do want to add one thing.
Yeah.
Just so you know, all her people know, or anybody that's listening of her people can know, that the judge can only consider what took place during the court hearings to make her decision. Nothing else. That's why Jeremy didn't release the videos until after the court dates were finished and it went to her decision-making process. There is no emailing the judge videos of Jeremy saying stuff and her taking that into consideration. That's not a thing. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, that's not a thing. Well, it is a thing for them because, well, you know, they're idiots. But
yeah.
Thank you, Zach says, I resisted temptation when he showed up at Roz's. Well, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for resisting temptation, Zach. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. But no, today we're going to hop right back into Darrell Brooks. We left off with him giving a wonderful sentencing statement. That was good times.
I can't wait to see what the judge says.
Well, he says he was very, very sorry. And we only have, let's see, 3.
This is the only time I was tempted to peek ahead, Jay. I didn't do it, but I was tempted.
We only have about 30 more minutes of him talking before it's the judge's turn. But we'll speed him up and along because, well, you know, he's going to go over the same stuff over and over and over again. He's like Ketchup here. And he just can't stop. But let me pull that up. Here we go. And this is about where we left off. And thank you all for being here. I hope you all remember to set your clocks forward. Otherwise, you'll be here an hour late or an hour late. I don't know. Something. But Rick Friend says, I want boxing. This isn't, this isn't your way. This isn't Burger King or McDonald's or whatever. That's not quite how this works, my friend. It's here, Kyle's here.
Stop it, Jay. You're such a jerk.
I love you, trusty old witch. And Tracy says, "Oh crap, I didn't set my clocks forward either, because I settled things a year ago or 6 months ago when I didn't set my clocks back. See, I'm like, yeah, I'm way ahead of the game.
Why am I not surprised?
That's called smart thinking. Look at me. My phone does it automatically, but everything else, I'm like, it'll work itself out. The time change sucks for night workers trying to acclimate instead of napping right now. Yes, I worked overnight last night too, but like I said, I only had to put in 7 hours of terrible work. They made me work so hard, and I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just like clicking buttons and going, well, whatever happens, I don't know.
Oh, that's great.
It's like, when in doubt, just click some buttons. We'll see what happens.
Sending stuff to Alaska.
Yeah. I'm like, this one can go here, and this one can go here, and it'll work out in the end. But thank you all for being here, because I know you all didn't get the longest night's sleep because of the time change. So there is that. Gabe doesn't want time change anymore. He mentioned that. And then, do you know any of these people that were there with them?
No, I wasn't sure who it was when Peculiar was asking me, because I didn't watch the very beginning of the show. I went back later and watched, but I didn't watch the very beginning, like the first 20 minutes. I didn't watch.
Oh, I guess it was neighbors. Maybe they had a neighbors party. I don't know. And then they wanted to hang out and be on the stream, and they were just yelling and screaming. I have to tell you, this is a show to go back and watch. This is the Flea Bag show to go back and watch. That first hour, wow, it was explosive of, well, complete nothingness.
Complete stupidity. And double talking.
It was the worst thing I've ever seen, but also the best. For me, anyways.
I think it's hilarious that she thought that was a good idea.
I know. Oh man, I was actually thankful when Gabe rounded all of their drunk friends up, because it wasn't pleasant on the ears, let's put it that way. And even Tammy just tones out for a while. She's like, I guess I'll just take my headphones out and you guys do you. Cute show, kids. Cute show.
Poor Tammy. Tammy, you can always come over here and kick it.
Yeah, come hang out with us, Tammy. You can kick it over here. Oh, good morning, M. Marsh. She's so dang sleepy. Well, then take a nap. You can come back and watch Darrell Brooks be a moron later on.
I think Tammy secretly likes our show.
I think so too, because did you hear when Flea Bag mentioned how I had saved her life, and Tammy like chuckles in the background?
Yeah, see, Tammy, you can't say that you don't like our show, that you've never laughed while you've watched all by yourself.
And she was in Flea Bag. The thing is, she didn't even refute it. She was just like, yeah, whatever. And I'm like, whatever. I was there. I held that meat hook. I kept you around. I was saving lives.
I was surprised that she said it and just went right past it so fast.
She's like, I don't even know how anybody likes that show. It's not even entertaining, but over here, I consider this entertaining. I'm like,
I know.
we have a very different presence of what we think entertainment is.
For sure.
Tammy secretly loves Jay's show. I think she does. I think she gets a kick out of it. And quite frankly, I know, like I said, we've met up for morning coffee, and she usually doesn't get coffee, but we've met up. We've had chats plenty of times where she has said, I really love your show. You're wonderful. And quite frankly, I wish I could be on your show than where I'm at, but I'm stuck. And I'm like, well, don't worry. All good things will come to an end eventually. I mean, she'll turn on you too, kid. Don't worry.
I know. Be careful, Tam Tam.
Oh, poor Tammy. But she's she's an interesting one. But yes, Flea Bag was on last night, and I'm gonna be starting a new thing over here now. And when we start getting super chats, what I'm going to do is start doing poll tabs. All right, now this will add an extra 3 hours on to every single stream, and it will be completely boring. And
it will promote rage quitting.
It was funny when they did their poll tabs, and Timmy goes, "Yeah, we just lost 200 viewers."
Yeah.
And Flea Bag goes, well, some people like it and some people don't.
She was like, oh, that's just the minions. They leave when the poll tabs come out.
Well, then that shows how many minions are watching. You just threw away 200 viewers to do poll tabs.
Right. And joke's on you, because we stayed for the whole show. Unfortunately, I did fast forward through the Dickles, though.
Oh, not me. No, I had to stick around because, they had some big winners out there. Hi, Michael. How are you? And Bonnie's going to rage quit. Hey, Mel Clump. How are you, my friend? Hi,
Hey, Mel. I would like to know what one of these big pull tab winner free gift people, if they ever get their free gift, I would love to know what they received.
I like how one of their people, like right off, says, if I win, I'm gifting to Tammy.
Tammy's thinking to herself, I don't want that shit.
Tracy Spencer says, shut your ass. Shut and more. No, it's crochet, not crochet. Crochet. Hi, Kelly Rager. How do you think season 7's going? And is it going as you planned? I think it is hilarious. Well, they're doing most of what I asked. I did say we don't want to see what's your face around anymore for at least a few weeks. Lips, and so Lips has not been back. She should be back in about 2 weeks now, according to my timeline. And then, of course, I told them Joey Camps was played out and not working well for him. So Joey Camps not been around. All right. So if we're taking notes on this, oh, do you see who's here? Denise Melaninoff.
Hey, Denise.
Oh, that was exciting news. She said she had to do two members only videos because she was behind. No, you're behind 5 months of members only videos. but we got two. We got two coming up, like I guess this upcoming week, allegedly.
Yeah, what do you think about us finding the stolen memorial, Denise?
You know what? I did a whole stream on that yesterday, and I forgot to show the whole thing. I forgot to show the memorial. It was the title of my show. I got so tied up with other stuff I forgot. Oh yeah, Dreamweaver's back. Dreamweaver. And
Yeah, I saw that.
Dumb Bonnie still typing in dumb stuff in the chat over there. She's still, of course, she's not going to do it. Of course, she's not going to do it. If I pressure her enough, she'll do it. She'll do it. I mean, I did save her life. Let's remember that. I saved her life. Oh, man. What a wonderful night of nothing. Oh, well, hi, friend Psycho. How are you? Favorite friend? See, I know I probably missed a lot of people here. I see Lala 16 is here. Rickles. Hello, Rickles. I know that we will miss Fleet Caps. Do you know if it's allowed to stream from federal prison? Well, you don't have to look at that. You're never going to be without some sort of a cap because I can always go and do a Lacey Jane cap. should be equally as fun. Oh, it's Sunday, you know.
Well,
Sunday.
and you have all of her, you have years of all her old shows.
Oh yes, I can go do an anthology of the of the Flea Bags. You know, I can do an anthology. I have gone back and watched some of their shows from a year and a half ago. Pretty good.
I'm sure they're riveting.
Jay, you're such a card. The Joker card. Yes, I am happy. Thank you. Well, let's move on with Darrell. Let's get to what we're here for today is Darrell. And don't forget, there's that one lady, Rosalind Duke. I think, does she have a show set up? I haven't seen yet. Hang on.
Didn't see a notification yet.
Let me see. I'm going to go click over there. Let me see the live. She said she was going to. No, she
Yeah, I'm hoping we're going to get a Stacy Kinnison update today.
Yeah, she doesn't have anything set up yet. So we'll see if she does. And
I'm sure she'll pop in the chat at some point.
If so, I'll set my alarm clock and try and pop over there for a little bit this afternoon. But yeah, let's yes, peculiar. Let's go look at D-Bag, because quite frankly,
D-Bag.
He's more entertaining than the Flea Bag.
Just as stupid though.
Yeah, just the dumb stuff. Rickle says, I am no longer a subscriber of Lacey Jane. All respect's lost. Yes, thank you, Rickles. Yeah, she blew it there. Let's check out DB, though. Let's see what D-Bag says.
All right.
Uplifting this community in prayer, and I will continue to do that until it's my time to pass on. I won't stop. Uplifting the communities in prayer, the victims, the families. Regardless of how anyone feels, I will continue to pray for them because that's what I want my heart to reflect.
I don't know about you, Jay.
And I don't want it to be misinterpreted.
I wouldn't want any prayers from DB.
Well, he's about prayed out, he said earlier in this same very emotional rant, is that he said about all the prayers he could say, but he's going to keep going, though. He's going to power through with the prayers.
Oh, man.
By saying I moved past the actual day. To clarify that so there's no misconception, is that none of us can go back and change what happened. We can't. But that doesn't mean that my life has to continue to be defined by that. I refuse to.
I can't CC this one. Oh, they're not available. Well, we're going to have to deal with that.
Continue to live at that time because that time is past. We can always say shoulda, coulda, woulda. Nobody knows what they'll do until they're in that situation.
Oh boy, he did not use shoulda, coulda, woulda.
You never know what you're going to do until you actually there. Does anyone think I haven't asked myself that? Man, I did not. What does it matter now? How many times can I pound my fist against something and say, Why? How could this not be?
Woo!
How many times before you just like,
What the fuck was that? Woo!
What an idiot, man. I bet you there's people that would love to pound their fist against your face.
How many times can you just go? Woo!
Or shoulda, coulda, woulda. Absolutely worst time ever to use that.
Or this, that, or the third.
Yeah. Yeah. I almost would have preferred that one.
move forward. Forgiveness. Matthew 6:14-15. Forgiveness. For if you forgive other people when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others their sins, your Father will not forgive your sins.
Oh, yeah.
So now he's trying to extort forgiveness out of people?
Hang on. I'm going to pop away from this one and go to the one with the closed captions on. Hang on.
Okay.
Here. We might miss a few minutes, but just give me a second.
Well, just stop it.
Well, no, because I don't have the exact, the timestamps aren't the same.
Oh, you'll just have to find it.
Well, I mean, we might miss like a minute or two. I mean, trust me, it's Darrell Brooks. I'm not gonna miss anything. Let's be honest here. We're not gonna miss anything with Darrell Brooks. He never says anything great.
But that's what we're here for.
All right, I'll just go back to here. Well, I think I'm about right there.
Very frustrating. As hard as it is, you cannot turn back the hands of time. You can't. As much as I wish I had the power to do that, I can't. So I have to look at life going forward, not backward.
What's Jeremy have to say? We've got some public videos from Sumter County Sheriff. Slofer ran away from Flea's house. Very serious and hilarious.
What?
I cannot wait to see that. We got Slofer running away from Flea's house.
No way.
I'm very excited about this, Jeremy. I'm very excited. Oh, man. Oh, man. I can't wait for you to drop those bad boys on us.
Right? And why in the world would he have to do that?
I don't know, but
that's weird.
Maybe calling Jeremy Hills a PDF files not a good idea either, but
that's true.
What? Actually, Jerm, he might have just been playing fetch with Gabe. 100% serious. Even Slofer hates being around Fleesa.
Well, I can't blame him.
I can't blame him either. I wouldn't even be like, I wouldn't like to be around Leatherface either, or the canine cop Gayoff. I mean,
right? And he was stuck there for a whole month.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it does.
Terrible. Well, we'll look forward to that, Jeremy Hills. I'm sure you'll be running over to Tug to play the whole thing. I'm sure.
He's still a little salty, Jeremy, about you cheating on him with Tug and Megan.
Parading around on Tug's show at 4 p.m. I'm sure I can only expect that of this. I've been pushing this guy's channel for a year. He says it's running right now. Oh no. Oh, he's still running right now. Oh no. Jealousy incoming. A little salty, says Crusty Witch. Do you have it playing now, Jeremy? Do you want me to share it now? I could do so. I don't want to steal all of your views.
I think he's busy running over by Tug and Megan currently. I think that's what he meant.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Sure he is. I'm over here building up his channel, showing him how to do YouTube, and here he is parading around over on like the Umbrella Dude or whatever his name is.
The Umbrella Dude. Oh no.
It's all in good fun, my friends. But Joe Brooks doing pretty good here. He's doing pretty good. I can't wait to see those. Sloper. I can't believe you remember when Jeremy Hells gave him that name of Sloper. I would have never.
Oh no.
It's coming soon, but it might be fun to give it to you guys. Well, I will be checking my email. You shoot it over to me, Jeremy Hells, and I will play it because it'll be a nice little pellet cleanser from Darrell Brooks. But trust me, Flea Bag will enjoy it. Did you hear how pissed off or how when Flea Bag mentioned I was over on Tug and Megan's show a couple weeks ago doing a mini flea cap, and Tammy goes, "Wait, he was over on Tug's?" And she's like, "Well, yeah, he was on Tug's." And she's like, "Really?" like it's inconceivable. Well, I'll check my email, Jeremy, if you want to drop a quick little link or something. I'll share, even if it's just a small clip. I'll share that, of course. And if not, you hang on to it for yourself, because it's the unbiblical guy, says Puzzler. But I'll let you save that for yourself, because I'm sure you need the views, because the views is how you the money is the views.
Oh, right. Yeah, because that's why he's doing this, for views, right? Dummies.
You know what I did? I don't know. I hate to take a break here. I went out myself and I spent $300,000 myself to get some views. What I did was I'm starting up a whole new series about my neighbors, because the other day I found a baseball in my backyard, and we released it yet, but it's almost time. Oh, well, I'm excited. We'll be waiting for it, Jeremy. We'll be waiting for it. Very excited. But yeah, my neighbors, they threw somebody threw a baseball in my backyard. And I did what I always do. I'm like, I'm keeping it. It's mine now. All right, grumpy old man here. Grumpy middle-aged man. It's mine now.
Oh, no. Do you have younger kids in your neighborhood?
I didn't think I had any younger kids, but I found them. Maybe it might have been the older dudes who knocked a baseball in my backyard, but I'm keeping it. I walked right in the backyard. I took it inside.
Good for you, Jay.
I bet it's a conspiracy. It is. Oh, it's a conspiracy against my neighbors.
You should display it in your front window with a sign that says, "Ha ha."
This is what happens. Who is Rosalind Dookie, says Zach. Zach, why don't you give her back her heels, and why don't you give her back her bikini bottoms before you start asking who Rosalind Dookie is? I know what you did, Zach. I know what you did. Well, back to Dummy here. Let's see how he's doing.
I have to look at reality. I've moved past the actual tragedy of the day of November 21st, 2021, but I have not moved past uplifting this community in prayer, and I will continue.
There we go. We're right where we were.
How people process this tragedy is how they choose to.
Good morning, Rosalind.
I could jump up and down and yell and scream about what was said in regards to me. But why? Everyone has to make their own peace with God. And that's what I've done, regardless to what people think. I've done it.
Congrats.
I don't want that to be confused with being at peace. It's a process, but I've made my peace.
I wasn't outside, Tracy. No, I wasn't outside. But you know what? I hold them all responsible. And I have my own bad neighbor story. I've been throwing blue buckets in their backyards just to advance my storyline.
Ew, gross. I hope it's not those $5 ones you were showing the other day.
Just throwing buckets in everyone's backyards and making my own storyline.
Neighbors have no freaking idea what you're talking about or why you're doing it.
I've got an entire backyard of 2-inch pipes. And they're all just confused, like, what the hell? What is he doing?
That is the only reason why I make the comment that I have a clear conscience. It was not pertaining to remorse. It wasn't mockery. It wasn't to thumb my nose at anyone.
Morning, Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
That wasn't what that comment was about. I've chosen to do that because it was needed.
Needed.
It's easy to lose your way in the world because the world is, as we all know, it's a big place. All types of things.
It's a big place in the
All
world.
types of. It's easy to get caught up in the world.
What?
It's easy to
I
get
can't.
caught up in the
And I
world.
refuse to
Snap
live
out of it, Darrell.
the rest of my life trying to please other people.
Oh, Lord.
He'll just run them over.
I still have a long way to go to get to where I need to be. But my life now is about pleasing God. It's about what He wants, not what I want. It's about what He wants, not what everybody else wants.
Well, he would not want this, Darrell.
I brought up God's will. Yet another comment that was taken out of context.
All out of context.
Oh, Lord.
A comment that, again, was not meant in a disrespectful manner in any way. It was not meant to thumb my nose at anyone in any way. It was the acknowledgement that God is in control of everything. Everything. The good, the bad, and the ugly. He is in control. That's what that was pointed towards.
Oh, it was God.
That alone.
Oh, boy.
For those of us who do believe, we've always been taught that God, His ways, not ours. What He sees fit to do, we can't stand in the way of it.
Right, peculiar. He did blow the horn, so, you know.
No matter how much we wish we could, we can't. Frankly, sometimes that sucks.
Sucks that you get
I
run.
never thought I would be standing here not being able to enjoy the time with my family that anyone would enjoy with their family.
Well, then I
People lost
guess
loved
you
ones.
shouldn't have killed people, Darrell.
I'm sure they feel the same way. They never expected to be here now because of something like this. That is not lost on me.
Oh, I think it is.
to suggest that I don't care.
You only care about
Everything
yourself.
during this whole year. That's probably the hardest one to digest. To suggest that I'm heartless.
We're not suggesting it. It's known.
It's very clear.
As far as the sentences are concerned with all of these convictions.
Honestly, Your Honor,
Probation would be great.
and I don't want this to be taken out of context.
Don't take this out of context, okay? There's a lot of stuff. This is like when you look in that rear view mirror and it says objects appear closer than they might be or something. See, he's taking the high road. You treated people like a game of Grand Theft Auto and you want forgiveness and leniency. Yes, I know. I'm a Garcia witch.
And if this is his high road, I'd hate to see his low road.
I have this as loud as I can make it, Peculiar. This is law and crime. This is as loud as I can get it to go.
I believe there's issues with me attempting to answer that. And here's why. I'm still confused. I'm still confused on the true nature and cause of the charges. I don't understand them.
Oh boy.
I also believe the decision was already made before we even got here. And I could be wrong. That's not a shot. It's not a slight in any way towards Your Honor. It's not. I don't want that to be taken out of context as well.
Okay.
I will say, help is needed.
Help is needed?
He needs help.
When you've dealt with certain things as long as I have. You have so many questions about where to start. You have so many questions about what can give you the help you need. Who can point you in the direction to get the help you need. There's so many things that you don't know where to start at. Your Honor, I think that throughout these proceedings, and I've noticed this, that you've been very observant. You've been very attentive, regardless of me being frustrated with some of the things that has been. I can't do anything but look at what you have done, which is you have been very, very keen. I believe that still a lot of issues there. I believe that because of the issues I have, sometimes I may have said things that you probably didn't really understand what I was meaning by it. I'm not sharpest knife in the drawer.
We know.
I think sometimes my mind probably works a little faster than I can articulate something. or pronounce something or say something. Obviously, it would be hard to top what was already said about you thus far. You've gotten an incredible amount, a credible amount of love for your job in this matter. Some even say superhero.
He's calling the judge a superhero. Now it's about the judge.
Yeah, how long is it going to take him to answer her freaking question?
I believe this is where you're supposed to say, I'm sorry, or something along those lines. But, well, we're going in a different direction. Now we're going to.
Well, he clearly isn't, because it hasn't even come to his mind to say it. So he's clearly not sorry at all.
This guy given 60 minutes was actually, Kelly, this is not his closing arguments. This is his sentencing statement. He does get kind of a little bit more leeway in the amount of time he gets. He actually is given about 2 hours to talk. The judge, in about the next 15 minutes, and I do have it on almost 2 times speed, and the judge is actually going to cut him off here in about 15 minutes, but probably about 7-8 minutes of our time. Okay, so we'll be moving past Darrell here very, very shortly. So just sit tight, folks. We just want to see how he ends things off, and I'm sure it'll be good. Well, or not. I'll be right back, Chuck. You got this?
Yep.
All right.
Some people, I'm sure you know this, but some people have even dressed up as you for Halloween.
Mr. Brooks, I'm not looking for accolades from anyone. I'm looking here today to sentence you in this case, and I'm frankly more interested in your thoughts on that than your opinion of me and how I conducted myself during this trial.
How was it? My opinion on that part.
I have a job to do today. It's not an easy one. There's 76 counts. I'd like you, if you can and if you want, to tell me how you think I should do that. That's what the victims have stated. That's what the state, right? They provided their recommendation.
The only thing I can say is one thing that should be taken into account is the time that I've served. Been here a year.
Wow.
Pretty much negate count 76. So there's that. Your Honor, I'm confused. I don't understand the true nature and cause of the charges. So I can't really consent to being sentenced when I'm still trying to. I don't understand.
Well,
it's not a delay tactic. It's not attempting to be disruptive. It's not intended to stop the proceedings. It's my honest opinion. I have trouble
comprehending what a piece of shit you are.
I can't say with 1,000,000% certainty. That everything, as far as in regards to me, everything should be looked at in its totality. The mental health issues, I believe that you've seen them rear their head at times. I believe that. I know that you've seen that rear his head at times. I also believe that you recognize the need for the help that's needed. You've seen things as far back as my childhood, and I believe that you understand the certain needs that would benefit. Where to start? Me myself, I don't know. There's so many issues that I've been trying to address for a long time, a very long time, and
Oh, we're gonna blame it on the bipolar
I don't know where
again.
to start.
You got to remember a few things, Joe. This guy grew up, he was in the welfare line getting the government cheese. And then he was eating the buggy cereal. Get the buggy cereal. I mean, this is terrible. Terrible if you think.
Yeah, so we should just let him out now.
Yeah. But I did like how he said, what can you say? What can you say in result of the 76 charges? And he says, well, time served. I mean, that should take care of count 76.
Mm-hmm.
And don't worry, she's gonna appease him, sort of, because she will give him credit for time served on count 1, which is life in prison. That's the judge's little wink to Darrell Brooks at the end of this when she gives him credit on count 1. It was funny. I think I mentioned this before, but if you're new here, I was talking to Legal Vices about this on X, and he was like, Jay, that's the judge's little wink to Darrell Brooks. Like, here you go. Credit for time served on count 1. Your first of 6 life sentences. Enjoy that one, idiot. So yeah, she takes care of Darrell Brooks. She does him a solid.
I have no idea. I can tell you that I want to be able to get to a point in my life where I can have the ability to recognize before it happens, when something could become out of control, before
It does.
an outside source can maybe pinpoint it and say maybe something's wrong. I want to get to a point where I can be able to recognize the signs on my own. I want to get to a point where I don't have a mind that's jumping back and forth and all over the place, and these moves, they go from here to here to here to here to here to here to here, and then it's like, oh, cool, and then it's here to here to here to here. I want to get to a place where I can combat that. It's this, Your Honor.
Listen, he doesn't want to be going from here to here to here to here to here. It's all cool. Here to here to here to here. It's all cool. He doesn't want to be doing that. No, I'm saying this trial was 5 years ago, Zach. I was talking to Legal Vices back then. All right, relax, get a grip, know your role, son. Yes, I love Jeff. R.I.P. Jeff. But no, we had chatted about this case in real time as it was on, because I asked him questions. Okay, Zach. Why do we even let him in here? Yeah, I'm just saying.
This has not been easy. And not just this, but life in general. It has not been easy.
No.
It's not easy to wake up every day and try to figure out how to stay grounded, or how to stay in a I don't want to say a box, but to be able to stay in a straight line, to be able to take life as it comes.
That's why you built the box court. You want to understand the box.
Not only be able to cope with things.
Mm-hmm.
Things are going to happen. Problems happen.
Life
itself isn't easy.
He should go to
I want to get to a point around where I can be able to say, okay, it's okay. It's okay.
I wish you would stop talking about Belitho's box.
I can say, you know what? You aren't the only person going through this. This doesn't make you any less than anybody else.
No, you are.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're less than almost everyone.
I don't understand it. But the fact of the matter is I want to get to a point of happiness again.
You want
to be able to be
happiness.
Wow.
Dedicated and not care what people think. To be able to speak my truth without having to feel ashamed that some people may think of me lesser than a person because I have to be medicated for life for it, because they feel like it's not normal.
You should say I'm sorry.
Which means the reason why I said not wanting to live to please anyone else anymore.
Can't
But for me to be
imagine
okay,
what's going through the judge's mind right now.
here,
Like
for me to be okay, because I
having
haven't
to
been for a long
continue
time.
to listen to
I'm
this
tired. I'm tired,
rambling
man. I'm tired.
crap.
Some days I don't know what's up or down. Some days I don't know.
You're better off in jail forever. You should have been in there a long time
What's
ago.
going on? 2 hours. I feel like we're starting to cover the same ground over and over. So I'm going to ask you again, because I'm really interested in your perspective. I want to know, as I consider and contemplate and finalize what to do in this case, if there are any sentencing recommendations you have on your own behalf to make at this time.
I just want to be helped.
You know he wants to say
I
it
don't.
so bad.
And help. Yeah, give him help.
You know he wants to be like, I think I should get
I
time
don't want to live
served.
with inside this pain anymore.
Probation.
I know that's probably not the answer you're looking for. Your Honor,
How about I'm sorry?
I really well, would
Let
like
me
to.
ask it this way, sir. 6 of these counts that you have been convicted of are intentional homicide charges. The options for the court are very limited. Life without the possibility of extended supervision. Life with the possibility of extended supervision as early as 20 years, that's the statute. And third, anything in between. And then lastly, related to that, there's an enhancer of 5 years for each count based upon the jury answering that special verdict question: did you commit the offense of intentional homicide by using a dangerous weapon? Thoughts on that?
I don't.
Do you think you should spend the rest of your life in prison without ever seeing freedom outside bars? That would be extended supervision. Should these counts run consecutive or concurrent? Meaning one after the other, or serving them at the same time?
He doesn't know what that means.
I didn't understand everything you said, but I did. I can't live a million years.
I
So,
understand.
Oh, no, you didn't.
A million years.
What a dummy.
Clearly, you can't give him life in prison for all of these things because he can't live that long. That's insane. I'm sorry. I hate laughing at this.
It's hard to believe somebody can be this stupid and mean it.
Read the room.
Right.
Hey, MQSS says boxes are running. Theme this week: Darrell's box, Belitho's box, Lenex's blessing box. Maybe we're here. Maybe we're entering something here. Thank you, MQSS. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, there's a lot of boxes going on at this point in time. We got box Fords. He is trying to find a way into a box or out of a box. I don't know, but it's going pretty good. But he can't live a million years, so you can't sentence him to a million years because clearly that can't happen.
I feel like I should be able to go somewhere where I can be helped, where I can be properly evaluated, where I can be properly medicated. If that is an extended period of a long, long time, at least I know that I'm getting what I need. Not what I want, what I need.
Yeah.
At least
And maybe
then,
they can get you like an
I would be able to
apartment
say,
and stuff.
Yeah.
it's okay.
Help you get your driver's license back.
You can be you.
I mean,
You can be grateful for the fact that
much love, Reed, actually.
you have
great.
experts.
Anytime,
or I
Reed.
don't know if that's the right word, but you have people that know exactly what to do, that recognize exactly what needs to be done and what should be done to be able to, like I said, be properly medicated, which is extremely needed. I don't know if that answers.
I'll follow it up again. What I hear you saying, sir, is that you don't have a specific recommendation in terms of how long the sentences are, whether they're life, whether they're consecutive, whether they're concurrent, but you're asking me to take into consideration your mental health needs and your desire to get help. Would that be fair?
Yes, I would say. I think it should be what you said. What was the term you used?
The extended supervision term, or consecutive versus concurrent?
Yeah, the concurrent.
Right, serving sentences at the same time versus consecutive, one after the other.
Thank you, Michael.
Together. My main thing is, like I said, regardless, is to not just be placed somewhere and just forgotten about.
Oh, you'll be
It doesn't
forgotten.
help. Obviously, I don't know how that all works, but I know that it would greatly benefit me to be able to be somewhere where, like I said, I can properly evaluate it and medicate it with the things that I need. It could be something that I haven't even discovered yet, or not me myself, but it could be something that maybe waiting there that could have helped me years ago that I probably wouldn't never have known up until this point that could have immensely helped me.
Oh,
I want to,
Sir,
I want the
As long as we
opportunity
can help you, Darrell.
Yeah, I think we're starting to repeat some of these topics that you've covered, and I understand what you're saying.
I
And
want to beat this. I want to beat this. I
I
want the
understand.
opportunity to beat it, to show that it can be beat.
at this
I
time,
don't have
Oh,
to live like,
Jesus.
I want to show that regardless of anything, that there is still hope.
Wrap it
I
up,
want to be able to show
Darrell.
my children that regardless, you can rise up.
you can
You
rise
don't have
up.
to-
I believe I
Oh,
understand and comprehend your desire to have your mental health issues addressed and met. You've stated that multiple times. I understand it. I can certainly address that in my sentencing remarks here today. At this time, it's been over 2 hours. I appreciate all the
hey,
words you said
Steven.
here today and the fact that you've
At least,
made a statement.
or Steven.
I mean,
I don't
Lisa.
even
Sorry.
realize.
It's okay. But at this time, I would like to take about just shy of 20-minute break, come back at 3 p.m. and start my portion of the sentencing hearing with my sentencing remarks and the sentence. But this time, we will be in recess until 3 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
Well, we're going to take a little bit of a break. Now, this is important because now the judge is tired of Darrell Brooks. All right, he said his piece, so to speak. Now he does need help, and we need to focus on getting Darrell help. All right, and he's going to rise up. He wants to show his kids he can rise up from this.
I'm sure that's why she needed a break till 3 o'clock, so she could go research the wonderful things she could do for Darrell.
Well, she wants to make sure that she can help Darrell rise up. Very important. Chup, have you ever been in a situation where you needed to rise up?
I don't think I've ever been in any of the situations Darrell's been in.
No, the last time I ran over a handful of individuals, I also needed to rise up. And I did run over a handful of individuals. I'm going to make this clear. Hi, Stacy Schmidt. How are you? Yes, it's Lisa. It's Stephen Farr. When I moved to my old house, when I got married, we bought a house. And I was driving along the street, and there was a gaggle of wild turkeys or something
Oh, I heard this story.
crossing the street, and I thought they would fly away. And then I drove over the flock. They didn't drive away, they didn't fly away. That was on them. I didn't honk my horn. I get that.
Turkeys can't fly like that, Jay.
I didn't know this. I was new to the countryside, right?
They can only fly from the ground up into a tree. They can't just take off and take wind.
I didn't know this. So of course I took out half the flock or the gaggle or whatever it was. And
Oh man.
I felt bad, but at the same time, To me, they were birds. I thought they would fly away. I didn't know I was responsible for like halting my life.
You murdered a bunch of turkeys.
So as you can see, I've been in a very similar situation as Darrell Brooks. All right, this makes sense. All right, I mean,
Oh no.
I'm basically the Darrell Brooks of foul.
Turkey killers.
It's a foul life.
Oh
Life. Yes, no, I didn't pick them up. I'm assuming the truckers and whatever who were behind me probably stopped, but
no. Well,
what
Sloppy picks up roadkill. Maybe he came and got him.
what was I gonna do? Get out and do CPR on these little bastards? They were in my roadway. All right.
Oh no.
It was I was a first timer. Now
See, Jay, it's times like this when the mute button would be great for me to have.
Granted,
Because I could stop you from doing this to yourself.
over the next 9 years of living there, I always paused for the local, fowl that was on the street, whether it be the birds or the deers or whatever. But I didn't know I was a first timer. I mean, you can't blame that on me. They should have put up a sign.
But when you saw they weren't moving, why didn't you stop?
Because I was going 40 miles an hour. I figured they could. I couldn't slow down enough to. Yes, I did run afoul of the law. Yes,
Oh, no.
It wasn't on purpose, though. It was ignorance, I swear. It's ignorance, I tell you. and even the law enforcement said they cleared me of all charges. They cleared me of all charges. Hi, Debbie Webb. How are you, my friend? Hi, Chibi. I'm a city boy who went out west, all right, and bought a house in the area where it was country landish. I would have deer in my backyard. I wake up in the morning, be a deer back there, and then sometimes I'd see them jogging down the sidewalk, right? So I have deer jogging down the sidewalk. I wasn't used to seeing this, and then all of a sudden I got these flightless birds. Apparently, they don't get the hell out of the way of a car. I mean, this wasn't something I was used to.
Oh, J.
But I'm not a bad person. It was a one-time thing. And quite frankly, when I put in my report, none of them had insurance. All right. None of them paid for the damn.
Oh, no.
No, these were non-insured turkeys. All right. And they were jaywalking. All right. They were turkey walking across the street. This was illegal in and of itself. It was terrible what they did to the ship. This is why I'm not usually allowed to have a YouTube channel without a babysitter, but sometimes
That's exactly why I should be able to mute you to stop you from this stupidity rant that you've been on.
stalking the job turkeys. Yeah, they were. Yes, the turkeys were jaywalking. They were turkey walking. And it's like the time I hit the deer. It was
You hit a deer too?
Well, yeah, but this is different though. It was completely outside of the crosswalk for the deer crossing.
Oh my god!
Completely outside.
You're joking right now, right?
No, I didn't care.
You did hit a deer too?
The deer survived. It was more of a baby deer, maybe a doe, and
oh man, you're not making it better.
No, I slowed down enough where it damaged my car too. Hi, Nemesis is here. Hi,
Oh my goodness.
It put a dent in the front of my car. I got a little butt print because I hit it right in the butt and it bounced off and it ran off into the woods, but it was completely outside of the deer crossing zone area. The sign was like another mile and a half down the road. That was on them. That was on the deer. All right, follow the rules. Look for your signs. I mean,
How much is your car insurance every month?
this was years ago. I have a perfect driving record. Actually, I never even claimed these things. These things that happened to my vehicle. I'm not a vanity type person, so I was like, it's a dent in my head. Whatever, it's cool.
So you just drove around for years with a deer's ass print in your hood?
Yep. Yeah. I was like, and when I sold the car, my dad finally took the dent out of the hood, and then we pawned this vehicle off of some poor suspect who didn't know what they were getting into and completely overpaid for this vehicle. For this 2006 Honda Accord that they threw down $3,600 on. But I put my dad in charge of this. So my dad said, listen, it's going to need some brake work. Might need some transmission work. And the guy's like, no, that's cool. Everything seems to be in pretty good condition outside of that. And it's for my child, and they won't be driving for a year and a half. So I have a year and a half to really, clean this vehicle up and whatnot. So see, it was a good deal. It was a good deal. I dropped it off for $3,600 and some dude. And I, as you know, I don't handle these things. It was a car salesman or a car thing. So I said, Dad, here's my car. Can you handle all this stuff? And he's like, yeah. And then he cleaned out my car and he vacuumed it and got it all ready for the big sell. And yeah.
Oh, man.
Because I don't do that stuff.
Your dad is a saint.
I know, because I was going to take it to the what's the place where you just drop your car off and be like, here you go, give me $300.
Oh, the junkyard?
Not the junkyard, like the car hop people or whatever. I don't know what they're called.
Well, the junkyard will come pick it up and just pay you scrap value.
Yeah, I mean, I was prepared to do that. And he's like, Jay, no, Jay, we can get you some money on this deal. And no, he sure enough did. He got me $3,600 on this terrible, terrible vehicle. And
oh boy, I think you should not tell any more stories today. People are gonna need some time to recover.
But no, I didn't kill all of the turkeys though. All right, some of them were just maimed. Some of them survived.
Some were just mangled.
Yeah, I didn't take out the entire herd. All right. I took out just a portion of the herd. All right.
You just thinned the herd.
I thinned the wild turkey population. About it.
No.
Doing the Lord's work at this point. We need a memorial shaped like a turkey. And now you understand why I have the show I have. Because yeah, I'm an open book, and that's people have my address.
Yeah, Peculiar said, "Shut your ass."
That's why at 4802 Krug Avenue, Omaha, Nebraska 68106, and that's KRUG with Krug. That's why these people can't attack me, because I tell it all. Well, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Come after me as some sort of, like, wild turkey killer? No, I've already owned up to it. I've already owned up to it. Suck it.
Suck it.
Who says you piss me off, Jay? I'm a hunter. Well, you should do better. I took out an entire flock. All right, I took out half of a herd in one foul swoop. All right, you're over there counting your bullets over there like Boner Crusher.
I know, peculiar. They're so stupid. Like, they couldn't make Jay mad if they tried.
I think that the Lacey lady, or the criminally contacted girl,
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, Jay was so mad." I'm like, "No, I wasn't. That was fun, and I had a good time. I enjoyed it."
Yeah.
No patty cakes. No, nobody got my license plate.
Well, that's a good thing.
Well, that was a good time. Jay, stop it. I can't paint when I'm laughing. I'm sorry, Happy. I'm so sorry. That was fun. Well, see, you got a little insight into the Just Jay Hip life. Now back to Darrell Brooks and his life. We got the judge here. Let's see what the judge has to say.
Nearly 4 weeks of trial. Then I will spend some time talking about the victims, their victim impact statements, and again, things that have stood out here to me. I cannot comment on all of the victim statements that have been made, but there are a few that I do want to highlight, and then ultimately go through the sentencing factors. Because all of these things I'm going to talk about relate to those factors, which in Wisconsin, there are 3 primary factors: the seriousness of the offense, the need to protect the public, and the character and rehabilitative needs of the defendant. So I want to start sort of near the end of all of the remarks over the last couple of days, and that is with my thoughts on Mr. Brooks and his mental health. I'm not here to debate that you have had a history over time of intersecting with the mental health agencies, and that you may have in your history trauma.
Mental health doesn't stop you from knowing
emotional
right
pain,
from
and
wrong.
things of that nature. I have read through not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 reports from experts, people who are well known in this field of what we call forensic psychology and psychiatry, individuals who have an expertise
Peculiar.
in evaluating a plea of not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect. Because I don't want there to be any doubt in my sentencing here today that I've considered that. But I also don't want there to be any doubt that somehow this trial was missing something.
Actually, I treat them like drive-bys.
Oh, no. No, I think drive-thrus is more accurate.
It was a buffet. It was a buffet. See?
Oh, man.
And see, we're watching Darrell Brooks, and you didn't think you had a good story about JC. I was trying to. I honked the horn. And
Oh, no.
they didn't move. That was on them.
Oh, no. Could you rewind it like 20 seconds when she talks about the reports? Because I was laughing and I couldn't really hear what she said about the reports.
Yeah, I'll actually even slow it down just a little bit more, because it is important here. Give me just a second. Okay, we'll get right here.
Thanks.
A review, frankly, of Mr. Brooks's NGI plea. And I wasn't going to start out doing that, But I feel compelled to make a record of certain things in light of many of the statements that were made here today by Mr. Brooks and his family. Following that, I'm going to talk about the case, the strength of the case.
I have to go throw the laundry in again. So you're on your own, Chup for just a little bit.
Okay, can you take the buffet off?
The buffet?
Yeah, Chibi's comment.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
I think it was supposed to be buffet, but he's.
I know. I was just being funny.
You know, it's funny. You know, Warren Buffett's from Omaha.
Is he?
Yeah, Warren Buffett. Yeah, he's from Omaha, Nebraska. Met him.
Wow.
In my brother's documentary, he was in the documentary. It's called 50 Summers. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But yeah, it has Warren Buffett is in his documentary that he put out. It won some awards. You know, I'm not trying to name drop. I'm just saying 50 Summers. My older brother put out, you know, he's kind of a thing. So there you go.
Chibi said, did you hit him too?
Maybe one of these days we'll play 50 Summers over on our show over here. He might appreciate it. Or copyright strike me, one of the two. No, I gotta go throw the laundry in the dryer.
Okay.
Here we go.
Witnesses and evidence that was presented, and some of the things that really impacted me throughout that time and throughout the nearly 4 weeks of trial. Then I will spend some time talking about the victims, their victim impact statements, and again, things that have stood out here to me. I cannot comment on all of the victim statements that have been made, but there are a few that I do want to highlight. And then ultimately go through the sentencing factors. Because all of these things I'm going to talk about relate to those factors, which in Wisconsin, there are 3 primary factors: the seriousness of the offense, the need to protect the public, and the character and rehabilitative needs of the defendant. So I want to start sort of near the end of all of the remarks over the last couple of days, and that is with my thoughts on Mr. Brooks and his mental health. I'm not here to debate that you have had a history over time of intersecting with the mental health agencies, and that you may have in your history trauma, emotional pain, and things of that nature. I have read through not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 reports from experts, people who are well known in this field of what we call forensic psychology and psychiatry, individuals who have an expertise in evaluating a plea of not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect. Because I don't want there to be any doubt in my sentencing here today that I've considered that. But I also don't want there to be any doubt that somehow this trial was missing something. Because the fact is, Mr. Brooks entered a special plea of not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect in the early summer, maybe late spring of this year. And this court ordered 3 court-ordered evaluations, and the state retained an expert to also review the issue. Whether the defense team at that point ever hired anyone, they are not required to disclose that. I don't know, but I have 4 well-known doctors who have written this court based upon the orders that were made, or one doctor being retained. And these are reports that are thorough. One report is 24 pages. Another is more of a summary. It's 8 pages. Another is 26 pages. And then another is 12. And they look at the discovery information. So police reports, videographic evidence, things of that nature. They have access to any mental health related records from prior stays or things like that. They look at a history. They meet with Mr. Brooks. I've referenced this in the past when competency wasn't so much raised by any of the parties here, but during the trial, there was, as Attorney Opper wanted to make a record one day of Mr. Brooks's competency. And I will restate what I stated at that point. I have absolutely no doubt that Mr. Brooks is competent. I'm obviously well-versed in the legal standard But that is not something that this court was frankly ever concerned about at any point in time. I know that his attorneys, when he had attorneys, never raised the issue. And it was really only after the trial began that that issue was raised, I think, by the public based upon what they saw. But Attorney Opper, like myself, had the benefit of having reviewed each and every one of these examinations. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but I think it's important because it goes also to Mr. Brooks's character, which is one of the things that this court must consider along with his rehabilitative needs. And I'm going to read parts of these evaluations so that you all understand the information that I have and why it is my opinion that mental health issues did not cause him to do what he did on November 21 of 2021, and frankly did not play a role. That's not to say that he wasn't diagnosed with something. I've referenced this previously, but that's an antisocial personality disorder. And this is what one of the reports has to say. They've looked at one doctor indicated that there was available evidence to sustain a diagnosis of cannabis abuse, intoxication, antisocial personality disorder, adjustment disorder with mixed disturbance of emotions and conduct. The reports go on to describe what those things are and that they may qualify as an abnormal condition of the mind substantially affecting mental or emotional processes, and thus as a mental disease or defect as broadly defined by the Wisconsin jury instructions. And that's at least as to the adjustment disorder. Cannabis abuse or intoxication would not. The diagnosis of antisocial personality disorder, and this is what the doctor said, reflects converging support of an underlying characterological disorder versus a major mental illness. In Mr. Brooks's case, I would note his history of disregarding the rights of others and conforming to societal norms, including in the forms of multiple acts of violence beginning in his youth, contact with the criminal justice system, lack of remorse as indicated by being indifferent, rationalizing, etc. The doctor goes on that it's her understanding that this characterological condition would not qualify as a mental disease or defect as defined by the applicable statute, which also specifies that mental disease or defect does not include an abnormality manifested only by repeated criminal or otherwise antisocial conduct. Goes on to talk about her opinion regarding criminal non-responsibility. And the examiner rendered an opinion to a reasonable degree of professional certainty that there was not support for the defendant's special plea, that the facts at hand do not sustain a conclusion to a reasonable degree of professional certainty that because of symptoms of a mental disease or defect, Mr. Brooks was rendered to lack substantial capacity either to appreciate the wrongfulness of the alleged misconduct or conform his conduct to the requirements of the law at the time in question. In arriving at this opinion, the following considerations were significant to this examiner. While acknowledging Mr. Brooks' documented history of episodic contacts with mental health professionals beginning in adolescence, most of the time he has had such contacts or received mental health treatment when in custody. In effect, there is not a sustained, documented history of a diagnosed major mental illness for him predating the alleged offense or otherwise. Looked at a psychiatric review from April of 2010. At that point, the defendant was determined to have no medically determinable impairment on which to qualify for disability benefits. The consultant who conducted the review noted that Mr. Brooks claimed mental illness was not, quote, well established, quote, that the statements that he made at that point were not deemed credible, they were inconsistent and not verified by treatment providers in the community. Factor number 2, the defendant's history of violence beginning years predating the alleged offense is significant. He faced multiple prior domestic related charges. He was not permitted in his mother's home because of the history of violence. To be sure, the magnitude and lethality of Mr. Brooks's violence in the commission of the alleged offenses is more severe than what was previously known. However, the defendant's history of a pattern of violent behavior, coupled with other aspects of his history, and in this case, strongly suggests that his mental state, which produced the alleged offenses, was most fundamentally formed and fueled by contributions of his underlying characterological dysfunction, anger, and rage born of his conflict with his girlfriend moments before the Christmas parade tragedy. The examiner considered Mr. Brooks's episodic endorsement of auditory hallucinations, including on clinical interview with the undersigned, meaning the examiner, and in a couple of recorded jail phone calls subsequent to his arrest. She said this, I am unaware of any objective corroboration that he presented, either in the hours leading up to or following the alleged offenses, as internally preoccupied or otherwise exhibiting signs of impaired reality, contact, or behavioral discontrol. To the contrary, The defendant's conduct within hours of the onset and moments following the alleged misconduct was organized,
You're
controlled,
blocking
and
the
purposeful.
thing. Never mind.
Moreover, he demonstrated the motivation and capacity to take efforts to evade.
What?
No, don't stop. You were blocking the closed caption. That's all.
Oh, well, I know, but I didn't run over anybody's family.
I know, but I want to hear these all together so that I don't forget what you said.
Okay, yeah. So
Thank you. I'm sorry.
So if Jade did not report the mass termination of a full family of turkeys to fish and game, is that felony? Oh my God. It might be. Oh my goodness. I'm in trouble. You bastards trying to get me in trouble over here. You know, Flea Bag's gonna be all over this. I'm gonna be in a court case shortly now. You terrible people.
Aid detection and try to flee the immediate area of the parade carnage. She went on, I have considered the seemingly inexplicable nature and magnitude of the violence and mayhem wrought by the defendant's conduct on the day in question. He has caused 6 deaths, dozens of injuries, and terrorized hundreds of parade participants and thousands of spectators. There is no indication in the extensive compilation of records and other information available that at the time of the alleged misconduct, he lacked substantial capacity to either control or conform his conduct to the requirements of the law, or that his reality contact capacity to appreciate wrongfulness was substantially impaired. In the context of rage born of his conflict and altercation with his former girlfriend, Turmoil, the defendant was disinclined to control his behavior or attend to its consequences. Notwithstanding the magnitude of the violence in this case, a mental disease or defect is not defined by the unnaturalness or enormity of the act. Moreover, temporary passion or frenzy prompted by revenge, hatred, jealousy, envy, or the like does not constitute a mental disease or defect. She goes on to talk about the course of functioning of Mr. Brooks during the day leading up to the alleged offense. Does not suggest that he was behaviorally dysregulated or that his reality contact was impaired. Goes on to talk about what he did in the immediate aftermath of the parade, including fleeing the vicinity, making efforts to evade detection or responsibility, and other things. Went on to discuss other evidence, including the videographic evidence of the Ring doorbell and being on the porch where he sought to use the phone. He had apparently discarded a couple of small bags, later determined to contain marijuana. And presumably, this is the examiner again, he discarded items to evade responsibility for possessing them. By implication, such conduct strongly suggests his capacity to appreciate wrongfulness was then intact. When responding to law enforcement officials, he followed their commands. He lowered himself to the ground. We saw that on the recording of his arrest when he was taken into custody and detained. None of the behaviors nor verbal remarks at the time of the arrest suggest he was behaviorally dysregulated or that his reality contact was impaired. Following his arrest and being taken into custody, he engaged in an informal series of verbal exchanges with authorities, and none of his statements taken at face value suggest he was then actively psychotic or that his behavior controls were substantially impaired. She then goes on to talk about the Mirandized statements. This court personally watched every minute of that interaction
Jay,
with
you're covering up
Detective
the.
Carpenter and Detective Stern, along with the one from the night before, which was at the hospital within hours. And I would concur with the examiner's conclusions that the content of his initial statements to authorities included multiple efforts to deceive or mislead. He changed his story multiple times, including he initially denied being in Waukesha the prior Saturday. He initially asserted he traveled to Waukesha on the day in question in a tan Kia with a friend. He initially asserted his mother did not own a vehicle, though later acknowledged as much, and that he used it from time to time. Other changes in his story over the course of his statements and the nature of them further suggest that he was making active attempts to evade detection or responsibility. By implication, such behavior strongly suggests that his reality contact was then intact. When he was shown photographs of driving in the SUV into the parade route, he indicated it was not him. And this is again the examiner. With the police. She's noting the police contact. It was not until Mr. Brooks was in the booking area of the Waukesha County Jail that he displayed some emotion, and this was to, I believe, Detective Stern, where he said, "I didn't mean to kill nobody." Such a remark indicates an awareness of the consequences of his actions, and runs counter to a conclusion of an exculpatory mental disease or defect. There's other criteria or other factors. I'm not going to read them all. That was probably one of the more comprehensive explanations of why that examiner did not conclude that there was support for the special plea of not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect. All 4 examiners shared similar observations. Certainly their conclusions were that there was not support for the special plea. One examiner talked about, again, conduct after driving through the parade, abandoning the vehicle used in the act, altering his appearance by removing his outer layer of clothing, altering how he was wearing his hair, and then engaging in further efforts to leave the scene by securing transportation via a ride-sharing application. This particular examiner went on to say, while he essentially, meaning Mr. Brooks, disclaimed any memory of those actions and could therefore not explain them, such behavior strongly suggests an awareness of wrongdoing and a desire to avoid detection. Another examiner had very similar things: antisocial personality disorder with borderline features, talked about the cannabis use disorder and full remission in a controlled environment. What's interesting about this particular report is the description of an antisocial personality disorder. The DSM-5 defines antisocial personality disorder as a pervasive pattern of disregard for a violation of the rights of others occurring since age 15 years, as indicated by 3 or more of the following: failure to conform to social norms with respect to lawful behaviors, as indicated by repeated performing acts that are grounds for arrest; 2, deceitfulness, as indicated by repeated lying, use of aliases, or conning others for personal profit or pleasure; 3, impulsivity or failure to plan ahead; 4, irritability and aggressiveness, as indicated by repeated physical fights or assaults; 5, reckless disregard for safety of self and others; 6, consistent irresponsibility, as indicated by repeated failure to sustain consistent work behavior or honor financial obligations; 7, lack of remorse, as indicated by being indifferent to or rationalizing having hurt, mistreated, or stolen from another. In addition, the individual is at least 18 years old and there's evidence of a conduct disorder prior to the age of 15. This examiner noted Mr. Brooks meets nearly all of the symptoms described above because he has exhibited a long-term maladaptive pattern of behavior involving a disregard for and violation of the rights of others, beginning in childhood and continuing through adult life. The borderline features reflect a general inability to sustain healthy relationships with others, including his domestically violent relationship with victim PPP. That examiner goes on with further analysis and conclusions, again, finding that there is not support. The last examiner, again, made similar conclusions, also diagnosing Mr. Brooks with an antisocial personality.
This is what's important here is why Darrell's paying attention. He wants to know if the judge is going to find him to have a mental illness. All right, so he is paying attention, and that's why he's not interrupting at this point. He wants to see what her findings are. And then when they're not favorable, of course, he's going to go nuts, okay, as he normally does. All right, and he's going to be the typical asshole he is. All right, but this is typical Darrell Brooks. All right, am I going to get my way? And when I don't, well, let me go ahead and make an ass out of everything in the proceedings. That's what I'm going to do. All right, because this is about him. It's not about anybody else. It's all about Darrell Brooks. And yes, I will say again, he's a piece of shit. He's one of the worst people I've ever encountered in my life. All right, there's him, and then there's John Kirk and Elemental P. And terrible, terrible, terrible people. All right, and then there's Paint Chips. All right, I mean, just terrible people. But no, this is his MO. All right, he ran over, all right, his girlfriend that he had a child with, ran her over with his vehicle, and then 3 weeks later does this. All right, so let's not let that get faded away in all of this. But she'll continue. The judge is great.
Disorder. Why is that important? There is no doubt that in our criminal justice system today, we face a crisis of the mentally ill intersecting in our courts. In the last year and a half alone, this court has ordered many competency evaluations, presided over a number of contested competency hearings, and ordered many, many evaluations for the special plea of not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect. And the bottom line is, for this court, Mr. Brooks does not present as a person who is either not competent or not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect. It is frankly heartbreaking to see those individuals who truly suffer from schizophrenia, for example, intersect in our criminal justice system. Sometimes they do unspeakable things. They hurt other people. I'm thinking of one such gentleman who was so schizophrenic and out of control. He couldn't even be kept in the courtroom. He was too loud. He clearly, if you've ever been in the room with someone who is suffering from auditory or visual hallucinations, it is not something you easily forget. It makes an impression, even on someone like myself, who's not an MD or a doctorate level psychologist. I've been in the room with an individual who was, when I did defense work, and he was accused of killing someone near and dear to him. It's a very, very different presentation. It's heartbreaking. It's heart-wrenching. Do the mentally ill sometimes commit atrocious crimes? They do. This is not one of those situations. We've heard Mr. Brooks's family talk about mental illness and bipolar. You know, in addition, before I get to that, I've also had, over my 11 years on the bench, of coming face to face with evil on occasion. There are many.
Let me answer this one for you, Chucky. His girlfriend was a trial run because his girlfriend did not press charges, and or if she did, the police did not intervene in a sufficient enough manner to avoid this mess. They did. Unfortunately, she had been threatened by Darrell Brooks, by Darrell Brooks's mom through a third party. All right. She had been threatened. All right. To force her to not bring these charges. And we're talking about the most extreme amount of abuse that someone was not going to bring these charges and do everything to let him go because of fear. Okay. And that's Darrell Brooks's MO. All right. So no, the police did what they could do. All right. Unfortunately, the court system didn't do what they should do. And this is not Judge Dorow. We're talking Judge Pryor.
Yeah, we're talking about the charges in Milwaukee.
Yes, where they let him go on $1,000 bail.
Signature. Or no, his mom did bail him out.
Bailed him out for $1,000. Bailed him out after running over Erica Patterson. And then this happens over $1,000 bail that he was given. All right, should never happen. That's what really went on. Erica Patterson had nothing to do with this in terms of not wanting to press charges. She was terrified of this individual. Terrified. All right, because he was threatening to kill her. Kill. He was threatening to kill her on the phone while in jail. Okay? His sole reason of going out to Waukesha was to confront her, all right, and to make her afraid. That was his entire goal, was to head out there to make her afraid. All right?
No, Chucky, we don't do 10% here. So she paid the $1,000. But he should have never had a bail that low for those charges because he had already been in jail multiple times before.
And yes, she did pay. She paid the $1,000. And Darrell was pissed because Erica Patterson didn't pay any money on his bail. Instead, his mom had to pay it all. And he was pissed off at her for that as well because she did not, all right, pay any money on his bail. So now
and I'm sure he thought in his mental head that this is all her fault, so she should pay for it.
Yep. Yeah. So no, she did. She paid the full $1,000, and the result of this is all because of, well, Dawn Woods and her son, Darrell Brooks. All right. Dawn Woods is as culpable as anyone. Even the judge is as culpable as anybody for
We
allowing.
don't have bail bondsmen here, Chucky.
Yeah. So
we don't
no.
do any of that stuff in Wisconsin. They just give you whatever the judge gives you for a bail, you have to pay it in full. No bail bondsman.
And they pulled up the full $1,000 is what his mom paid to get him out of jail in order to do this damage.
And then if you
Many
go
times,
to all the
good
court
people
dates,
do
you
bad
get
things.
all your money back.
Yes. And he even pointed this out to his mom. Don't worry. When Erica, will not cooperate with the DA, don't worry. Because you're gonna get all your money back because she ain't gonna cooperate. That's what he said. And it don't work out so well.
But there are times when evil people do bad things. There is no medication or treatment for a heart that is bent on evil. Child trauma, bipolar, indifference, physical abuse of a child, or even childhood trauma did not cause Darrell Brooks to commit the acts for which he will be sentenced here today. It is very clear to this court that he understands the difference between right and wrong, and that he simply chooses to ignore his conscience. He is fueled by anger and rage. Some people, unfortunately, choose a path of evil. And I think, Mr. Brooks, you are one of those such persons. As a mom, my heart breaks for your family, for your mom, and for your grandmother. The son that she raised, the grandson that your grandmother knew, the hopes and dreams they had for your life, they're gone. And I think it's perhaps far easier for them to blame a mental illness than to perhaps come to grips with their son did very, very bad things due to very bad motivations. One of the things ultimately that will happen when you are in prison, sir, is that the Department of Corrections, they are statutorily responsible for your care and your well-being, including your mental health. I do not have any authority to dictate to them where you go or how they treat you. That is far different than when there is support for a plea of not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect, because then the court has available what is called treatment facilities and a commitment to such a treatment facility. That is something that is simply not on the table. And again, 4 evaluations, not even my own assessment, but 4 evaluations from licensed professionals say otherwise, even in the face of your family saying that, and even in the face of you claiming that. I'm not even here to say that some of those things can't coexist and that you might not have some of your own mental health issues, whether it be bipolar, childhood trauma, or things of that nature. But the bottom line is none of that caused you to do what you did on November 21 of 2021. I want to next turn to the trial in this case. And I think it's important that the sentence here today focuses on your conduct on November 21 of 2021 and the moments leading up to that tragic and fateful decision of yours to drive through the Waukesha Christmas parade. And of course, the moments after. I, of course, through my sentencing remarks and ultimately what I do here today, I can't answer all of the questions. I can't address all of the issues, including the why. Perhaps the one question that will remain unanswered. Why? Why did you barrel down White Rock Avenue? Why did you not stop? Why did you keep going? Many of us in this courtroom sat through the entire trial. And what we learned is that very early on in the afternoon of November 21, starting at around 1 p.m., the police got ready for the parade. The staging area was set up, and that was all along White Rock Avenue.
Hi, Gary.
Signs were put in place. Ultimately, barricades were put up at a number of locations on Main Street and surrounding that. We know because we heard from Sergeant Warner about what he had done, and he had, right before the start of the parade, had driven down the parade route. It was on his shoulders, his responsibility to make sure everything was safe and in order. What's important about that staging area, sir, is we know But that is where the altercation with Erica Patterson really came to a head. We all watched that video, multiple videos. And we know that even before that, you appeared angry and upset. 2 individuals testified about you being at that mobile gas station, how you turned the wrong way down a one-way street, waved your hands in the air, rolled down your window, either exchanged gestures or words with one of the drivers. Perhaps 30 minutes or so before the start of the parade, maybe an hour or so before you drove down the parade route. But what's important is the signage. Even you, at one point, I believe when you were talking with Detective Carpenter, noted, it was my words, my assessment, it was clear something was going on. I think what you said was a lot of shit was blocked off. You'd driven past those signs on the staging area. The fact remains they were there, sir. And the fact remains is you told Detective Carpenter that. We then heard from the witnesses related to Ms. Patterson. We heard from Corey Runkle. We heard from Erica Patterson herself. My impression, based upon Erica Patterson's testimony, who, by the way, she showed grace and dignity facing you, the man who clearly has no regard for her as a mother of one of your children, as someone you had a domestic partnership with and a relationship with at one point. We know, and I would say this goes to your character, what was shown through that altercation and going up the hill, following her, slapping her. You know, the rules don't matter to you, not the rules of the road, not the rules established by court orders, not the rules even of decorum and decency. And I'll get to this more fully when I talk about your character. And I know you went hard at Attorney Opper for her bringing these things up, but those are legitimate, lawful sentencing considerations. And when I get to that point, I'll tell you the case law that supports that. Your character, even your pending cases.
I don't need no case law.
We know at the time of all of this, right, you were out on bond for 2 felony cases, one involving a handgun, one involving the same vehicle in Erica Patterson, and one involving ultimately intimidation of Ms. Patterson.
Now, the handgun is his nephew. All right, he got an altercation with his nephew at his mom's house, and he fired the weapon at his nephew. All right, striking the vehicle that his nephew was driving away with and with a friend out of fear. All right, and yes, he fired at his very own nephew. All right, so okay, that's what that's involving. When talk to the pew pew here, that's what they're talking about.
We know that on November 20th, and she was very contrite about this. She told you where she was. She invited you out there, and that you had contact with her on the 20th. There was some physical. Mr. Brooks, this is my time. You need to not interrupt.
Hey, the judges bring up the 20th. Remember, the 21st was the parade attack. Okay, the 20th is when he had his initial contact with Erica Patterson, where he beat her up as well.
Yeah,
right?
in front of the Women's Center.
Yes, and then the prosecutors did not charge him with this because she didn't have physical injuries, and they didn't want to confuse the jury. So they let that one go and said, we don't need 77 charges, 76 is cool. And they let that go. In Darrell Brooks's mind, that means that never happened. All right. Apparently, since they dropped that, it never even happened. But it did. It did. All right. He's going to get very upset about this again.
Mr. Brooks,
the state
you need to stop.
said specifically, wrote you, Your Honor, and said that they know it was no incident that day.
Mr.
And now
Brooks,
you want to sit up here.
do not interrupt me
you-
or you will be removed from the other
And now you
courtroom.
want to sit up here
Stop
and try
now.
to add something in that you know for a fact never even happened. You want to sit up here
Mr.
and talk
Brooks,
about
every
who has
time-
grace and all this. You talking about someone with
You're
5
just
kids.
proving her
You
right
need to stop
right
right
now.
now or you will be removed.
Remove me then.
All right, he will be removed. He cannot simply stay
I don't
quiet when
consent to
this
being
court
in
talks.
sentence anyway. I don't consent to this, just like I told you. I don't know the
He'll be in recess until he's
I don't
removed to
even
the other
understand
courtroom.
the true nature and cause.
Well, this is going well.
He's just proving her right.
But that's the thing, though. And I have to give Darrell Works a lot of credit, though. He hasn't even consented to being sentenced.
Well, yeah, and he hasn't even faced the plaintiff, so I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, AJ being Darrell Brooks sounds the same. Screw you, Gary.
Ouch.
I mean, time out, Gary. Gary's terrible. He's the worst. I don't even. I don't know. I think he's going to find out the business from another courtroom. But you all know November 20th never even happened. No, they just didn't charge you with it, dummy. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. What a piece of crap. But in sentencing, it's always nice to have a good final meltdown. That's going to make things go well.
Right. And like I said, he's just proving her right. All the stuff she just said about him, escalating to anger, not having consequence, like all of it. He just proved that it's actually very true.
And she ran down what I did like is she ran down all of the 4 reports, kind of, of all of the mental evaluations. And she's like, yeah, no, he's competent to stand trial. He's just an asshole.
Yeah, that was the part I wanted to hear the most. That's why I was like, put the thing down so I can read the closed caption. I wanted to make sure I was taking everything in.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I wanted to post.
You're good.
I like to put up a few people's stuff once in a while.
I know. I just didn't want to get distracted.
I know, because we're at the point where the judge is doing her portion now. Now, Darrell, he's over now. He's in the other courtroom. He's very sad. And this is the terrible part. This is when he needs a hug. And there's not even anybody there to give him a good solid hug. I mean, sometimes I wonder if Jay loses sleep over eliminating 3 generations of turkeys in one foul swoop.
No.
Is it a foul swoop or a felt swoop? Trust me, I didn't felt them.
In your case, it would be a foul swoop.
I kind of regret telling that story a little bit.
I tried to stop you.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. French Psycho says pounds.
Crowns.
I know, Chucky. I just give it.
I need to first confirm that Mr. Brooks is able to hear and see the court. We do have the audio and visual on. If someone I can see.
I'm kind of gonna pop forward a little bit because she's gonna make a notice of everything that just occurred. So, as she does every single time, so we can kind of pop forward a little bit here.
Long today up until his Right, he's not making that pledge, and under Illinois versus Allen, unless he makes that pledge, he's not coming back. Intention of stopping his tirade. I think there's really no other way to describe it. And this court needs to go through its remarks uninterrupted. And given the history in this case, which is well documented, of his disruptions and inability or unwillingness to follow the very simple rules of decorum and courtesy, which include not interrupting the court, I felt it important under Illinois versus Allen to remove him from the courtroom.
Stop him,
That is,
Spire.
of course, one of the options, and we have the benefit of the wonderful technology here in this courtroom and the adjoining courtroom, which I believe is the equivalent of being present. What I have referred to at times during this trial as the functional equivalent of being present in this very.
I'll be honest with you. This Spire, I don't even know why we let her stay in the chat. Very mean. Very, very mean.
I don't know. I like her.
I don't. Jay was just beating the rush for Turkey Day, making sure he gets the best bird. Well, yeah,
He probably drove up all the Thanksgiving turkey prices that year.
it was around Thanksgiving, now that I think.
We probably paid an extra 20 cents a pound because of you.
I sold them bitches off to Walmart. You people are terrible.
Oh, we're terrible.
Leave him alone. He just wanted to serve the community with turkeys for the holiday. Yeah. See, I was doing the Lord's work. The Lord's work over there. I was
He
giving.
didn't even take the turkeys, Rob. He just left them there on the road.
I know I left them for Flea Bag so she could have some turkey skins. Now you can feed the cats and shads with turkey.
Oh no.
See? I'm saving lives.
Those turkeys are long gone bad.
Yeah, Kmart says it was natural selection. It's their whole life. Let them
Yeah.
alone. Just let them alone. Leave just alone. That's Kmart. Thank you, Kmart.
One of the things that I did note regarding Erica Patterson's testimony, because frankly, I wasn't sure where Mr. Brooks was going to go with his own defense based on some of the remarks he made during his opening statement, which was actually later, but I guess I'll go back to my review of his
I did not
recorded interview and some of the things that he tried to say. And at least it became apparent ultimately with the way he cross-examined witnesses. I wasn't sure if he would claim perhaps someone else was in the vehicle. He was afraid of police.
He looks like Gingras up there. he's calling time out. He looks like Gingras.
Oh yeah.
With all of the he's come full circle.
Baseball calls.
He should. It was funny when I had Gingras on. He did a timeout one time on the stream, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, that's from the Laura Owens deal." I mean,
yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Having the guy on the show maybe wasn't the best idea. However, he did say some of the goofiest shit, and it was well worth it. Hi, Mr. Coop.
Hey, did you know that he hired Mark Randazza for his bar complaint case?
That was the whole thing. The whole deal was the Randazza and Gingras connection and gesture connection that people didn't understand, and I got a lot of hate from it because people watched the Dave Neal stuff and they didn't realize, because he only shared snippets. They didn't get the whole back and forth, which was 90% not Laura Owens shit. So they missed on the actual truth of what was going on there. It was more about me.
Hey, Coop.
But that was so funny because he was like, "Oh yeah, this is just like the Laura Owens deal. I'm doing a timeout thing," and I was like, "Here we go." Making a dummy of yourself again. This is cute. It was so good. But I mean, I understand. I took a lot of hate on that one, but it is what it is. No, he's got some hand signals going on. I know, Chucky. I think Jay said something before about his dog. My dog. I didn't do anything with my dog. What are you talking about? My goldfish, maybe. I mean, I flushed the goldfish, but they were old.
Jesus, just press play.
The tinting of the windows, some of those things. Here's where it frankly doesn't matter. Okay, Erica Patterson provided key testimony in this regard. that there was no one else in the vehicle with Mr. Brooks. And I'm aware that he wants to come back, but until he writes me a pledge that he will not interrupt me under Illinois versus Allen, he is not coming back in this courtroom. He has forfeited his right to be present during my remarks. And unless he makes that pledge to me in writing, he's not coming back in.
Yeah, they were old turkeys, really old turkeys.
One of the things I tried to do in my preparation, and let me tell you, I reviewed all of my notes from this trial. I have, I think, 9 notepads. I looked at just a couple of exhibits, but primarily the map, Exhibit 15. I really wanted to determine for myself how long this carnage took. We know the distance, right? From at least where he entered. And you know what, Madam Clerk, put my screen up, will you? I'm going to put Exhibit 15 up because I think it's worth doing that. All right. We know he entered from White Rock, where the first star is on the right side, where it says Fleet 1, unmarked sedan and marked SUV. And that's where Detective Casey was. And so we know he goes 1, 2, 3 blocks before striking anyone. And then it's really about 5 blocks of what can only be described as chaos and carnage. We know we have, from the evidence and the testimony, 2 different speed calculations. One from Bosco's, that was the surveillance footage, between 33 and 34.5 miles per hour. And then we have one farther down from the footage from Curry Insurance, where it was an average 32 miles per hour. Now, I acknowledge math is not my strong suit. I did not do a calculation. I don't think it took very long for all of this to happen. I think it was a matter of minutes. I think 5 minutes would even be far too long. It's probably 3, maybe. And it was somewhat hard to gauge during the trial because of how the state presented. And I don't mean this as a criticism, but they were very meticulous in showing video, breaking it down, showing it at half speed, sometimes 30% speed, to really get an understanding of what was happening. And at no point did anyone ever tell me or tell the jury how long this took. But even though it took just a couple of minutes, there were so many opportunities for Mr. Brooks to simply stop, turn around, turn down other streets before he ever crossed Barstow Avenue. And what we know is that...
Well, this is important, I guess, to bring up in light of this whole situation that's occurred due to Ketchup. And that is, you're right. We should have a little reminder to keep animals away from Jay. No, it's not a good idea. Thank you, Maria P. Thank you for the 2 to remind everyone to keep your animals away from just Jay.
Boy, that was a little solemn. Was that for the turkeys?
Yeah, that was my solemn harmonic. The turkeys and the goldfish, and that was
your shitty flute tribute to the turkeys.
Yeah, see, I can do it all. I was hoping that came off that way. That was my funeral harmonica, Maria.
I was picking up what you were putting down, Jay.
This is why they shouldn't let me on YouTube. My bad.
This is also why we don't do it on my channel.
And at 4:37, Detective Tom Casey had the first police encounter with Darrell Brooks. Came face to face. Detective Casey at the hood of the car, coming eye to eye. The SUV brushed past him. And here's the thing. Detective Casey said he wasn't going very fast. To me, that tells me he had ample time to reflect about what he was about to do. If you look on that map, it's not a pledge. He's not coming in. When you come down White Rock, you can take a hard left on East Main Street. You can take.
She wants a hardcore pledge. She's like, nah, not good enough. Screw him.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him to do better.
Yep. Well, he got his bibble out.
Well, in Jay's defense, the aforementioned turkeys did not obtain the proper parade permit from the county. That is true. That is true. They shouldn't have been in the road. They were out there collecting candy, and they shouldn't have been.
They were not in a parade. They were just doing what turkeys do.
I'll check my email, Jack's mom, but normally I have to like preview stuff before I just show it. I don't know what you sent me. I can't just pop stuff up and not know what it is. Oh, but I will look at it. I will look at Jack's mom when I get a chance, but probably after the show, and then I'll share it on the next one. So thank you. I did get an email from you though, but yeah, we're just gonna have to sit tight on that one. Okay.
What I call a soft left. I believe it's Pleasant Street. And Detective Casey, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I can't see it on the map. Frankly, you can turn around at any point in time on White Rock Avenue. But instead, and I think if you all try to picture this, as difficult as it may be, there's squads with lights, there's barricades. I know I read in the other act's motion that Mr. Brooks claimed at one point he was having a panic attack, and maybe I think he was going to claim at some point he was afraid of police. Why drive toward them? Why take that right-hand turn?
Oh, wow.
There's no reasonable explanation other than he was angry, he was full of rage, and he didn't care who he came in contact with, what he came in contact with, whether he drove past, through, at, he drove. Detective Casey pounded on the hood of that car, saw his face, again, was brushed by that SUV, thankfully not hurt. All of this preceded by the visual signs along White Rock Avenue of the staging of this parade, floats, bands, banners, signs, people. And as you got closer to Main Street, the spectators lining those streets, which both, I believe, Detective Casey and Sergeant Warner said were thousands of people. Before he ever gets to Barstow Avenue, he comes in contact with, after Detective Casey, Officer Buttrin and Officer Schneider. He has an opportunity, if you look at this map, he could go right on Buckley. Again, there might be police, there might be barricades. You simply stop. You ask, can I get out? No doubt in my mind, any police officer there would have done just that. He could have gone left on Northeast Avenue. Continuing down, he could have gone left on Martin Street. Continuing on, Barstow Avenue. This is where the parade participants, unfortunately, he has contact with them. But he could have gone right on Barstow. He could have gone left on Barstow. And we know from some of the footage that we saw that his car was seen flying past, true, not hitting one at this point, but flying past. There's no logical understanding for Mr. Brooks other than he's in the middle of a parade and he can see them. Anyone driving a vehicle would see what's ahead. And we know from this map, right, what was ahead of him. We saw that video footage. We heard the testimony.
And I just didn't think about this before, but he could have stopped and tried to reverse.
Lights flashing. There's no doubt in my mind that Mr. Brooks would understand a parade was going on. You can turn off my monitor, thank you. We also know it was not yet dark. Dusk. This was from the battalion chief who talked about when he arrived after that first alert at 4:39, it was not yet dark, it was dusk. I think that aids to the visibility that Mr. Brooks would have seen all of these people. This is not under cover of night. It's, of course, downtown Waukesha. We saw city lights and many of the street lights I'm referring to in many of the videos as well that would have been on or coming on. We know just past Barstow, he strikes his first victim, Nicole White. She was with Remax Services with the hot air balloon. If anyone's seen that, we saw it in the video. That is unmistakable what that is. That would get anyone's attention. If this was a mistake, if he was lost, this was his very first opportunity to stop and do the right thing after causing injury to a person. But he didn't. He did not stop. And then, of course, the Waukesha South Band. It's hard not to think about what I watched and not have this reaction. Those were images that frankly kept me up at night, that I saw over and over and over. For their band director, she is a hero to me, to get up on the stand, to talk about, and that was Sarah Waymeyer Aparicio, to identify each one of her students, talk about their formation, talk about what she saw. So strong for all of you. Mr. Brooks had another opportunity to stop. This wasn't one isolated person that he could claim, I didn't know I struck someone. This was
Total lack of
over
respect
people.
on his part.
What Kyle
right
Jewell
now.
described as the SU.
He doesn't give a shit.
No.
No. He's going to prison. He knew he was all along. He wanted to create havoc and he wanted to create a mistrial. It didn't work out in his favor, and now everyone can see he doesn't give a shit. He never did. All right. And you saw
He
that.
didn't. He really didn't.
You saw that in his statements when he even accused the prosecutors of, like, makes me think, do they even care about the victims? Because it's all focused on me. Yeah, you ran him over, you dummy. Yeah, of course it's going to be focused on you. They focused enough on the victims themselves. In fact, you called one of the victims' mothers to the stand, who you ran over 4 of her damn children, and you called her to the stand. All right. But yeah, they're not going to focus on you, Darrell. Well, they are going to focus on you, Darrell, because of what you did to these victims. All right. But no, it's not about what the victims did to you. Jesus shit, he's terrible. But I do like the judge's closing argument. She is doing.
Yeah, no, she's doing good. I just think, what a dick. He's just sitting there waving the paper like, hey, what about me? What about me? Trying to distract her or interrupt the process.
It's all about Darrell Brooks.
UV went over people like they were big old speed bumps. I know the Green children were injured around there. Thankfully, their physical injuries were minor, and I know I could probably spend a long time talking about the injuries of the band members, and I'm not going to go through that. They were significant. It was horrific. Thankfully, none of them were killed. And then, of course, moving on to Burst Logistics. Between the band and the Blazers, that is where Kelly Graybow and her 10-year-old daughter, Adelia, were in that adorable Cindy Lou Who costume. And what struck me, and Kelly referenced this in her statement yesterday, was...
Actually, I'll get to Adelia. Even though, as we finish up things here, I'm going to have 1 or 2 more streams where we're going to get to a few things we missed or just some outside the box type things with Adelia is very important in this trial. I didn't want to share anything, but I will share a little bit of the aftermath of Adelia and how she's doing now. But no, Adelia is a big portion of this. She was seriously injured in this, and we'll get to a few of those things. But yeah, we're going to finish with the judge here as much as we can.
Seeing the tires go past her head after she was hit. Adelia had major injuries as well. And then, of course, the footage from the Waukesha Blazers. And Jeff Rogers talked both at the trial, he testified, and he gave a statement yesterday about, again, having to come into this courtroom, talk about all of those who were with him, who were injured, and of course, little Jackson Sparks. Another video that, frankly, is very difficult to watch and hard to unsee. You heard not only Jeff, but Josh Craner talk about what happened. And Josh, of course, being struck. And then the extreme dance group. I think it's fair that I didn't fully understand the extent of their injuries until hearing from many of the victims yesterday. I now understand why one of the girls called her aunt and said, my entire team is dead, because that's what it looked like. It was horrific. And to think of those two brave young ladies who got up during this trial to testify about what they saw, what they did, Jamie and Alyssa, your dancers are proud of you. And because of you, justice has been served. We heard from others, spectators, Deborah Ramirez, regarding herself and her son, that the vehicle was accelerating, not stopping. A moment that sticks out to me was really Mr. Brooks trying to chastise her for not seeking medical attention right away. Her response was perfect. She waited due to the number of injured and all the blood she saw. Understandable. Not something to be chastised for. And then moving on, and again, I know I'm not mentioning everybody. These are just some of the highlights that, and I should call them lowlights, not highlights, but some of the testimony and evidence that really, really impacted the court. Stephanie Bonesteel and her husband testified about what Citizens Bank was doing, hearing the impact against Jane, a very large thud and an audible gasp from the crowd. Her husband, Adam, was driving the support vehicle. And when he was being cross-examined about why he didn't see the driver, again, he just simply said, I thought it was my wife that had been hit. All I saw was the red poncho. And the only time we ever heard about brake lights was when Jane Kulik was on that vehicle and he braked so he could get her off the top and run her over. We heard from Matthew Harris, who talked about the red SUV coming straight at them and then veering and going in the direction of the dancing grannies. And again, that audible gasp as he described that eerie sound. He saw a child injured in front, Jane Kulik behind. Actually, the child and Jane Kulik behind and two victims ahead. He saw two of the dancing grannies. What he described as the SUV traveling faster than the speed limit. What I wrote down from his testimony is he's a combat vet. And this is what he said. I've never saw anything like this in such a safe area. You could tell he felt bad about not seeking treatment right away for his daughter. He talked about how his wife's a nurse practitioner. And again, he didn't want to direct resources from other victims, that we thought she was okay enough to be home with them. Now, by this time in the parade, it's very clear the spectators are noticing something is not right. The sounds, the atmosphere has changed. They're screaming, there's gasping. There's a noticeable difference. At this point, I believe that Owen was struck, Kelsey was struck. Probably another miracle, given the injuries she sustained, the tear in her spleen, significant road rash cuts requiring facial surgery. What Mr. Knapp described the driver as having eyes completely wide open. And then next we heard from Laura Thien, one of the dancing grannies. She talked about the sisterhood. Another brave woman came in, talked about what happened to that group. 7 people injured from her group, 4 fatalities. She said it all happened in a matter of seconds. All I seen was bodies. It looked like a war. The 6 people who were killed suffered multiple blunt force traumatic injuries, severe, significant, some dying instantly. I was impressed by both Dr. Shiel and Dr. Bidzricki. Dr. Bidzricki for her attention to detail, her looking at that vehicle, inspecting it, looking at the heights where certain damage was done and it being consistent in height with the individuals that she did the autopsies on. And of course, Dr. Shiel, and both of these individuals have testified before me, but Dr. Shiel, very shaken from the autopsy of little Jackson Sparks. We then, continuing on, heard from Father Witter, very gracious man. He too talked about how he noticed something unusual, saw an SUV flying down the road, heard thuds. It was faster than anyone in their right mind would be going. He estimated it to be over 25 miles per hour. And then Lucas Hallmark, the off-duty police officer who was walking with his family on that day. He talked about the commotion behind, the large amount of screaming. You could feel it was palpable when he testified about having the wherewithal to try to get his kids out of the way, throwing his 3-year-old as far as he could out of the way. You could see the pain on his face when he talked about not being that successful with his 7-year-old. He said, I wasn't quick enough. He testified that he thought this was a terrorist act, that SUV did not stop. I referenced the speed already, the ACE speed estimation from Detective Carpenter, 33 to 34 miles per hour, a little bit more than that. The speed calculation by Michael Smith from State Patrol from farther down the route of averaging 32 miles per hour. And then, of course, the vehicle inspection by the State Patrol, finding no mechanical issues. There was also the Franklin Assistant Chief who attended the parade. He was near West Main Street in Maple. He provided the testimony regarding the SUV, the window being open, and the driver sticking his head out, looking out. He testified how he thought perhaps it was either a medical emergency, maybe even a mechanical issue, but it was clear once that SUV passed him and he saw that driver. He saw you, Mr. Brooks. No panic, no distress. His heart sank. He knew it was not a medical emergency. The body language just didn't fit. It did not believe it was mechanical at that point either. And then he saw the vehicle crank to the right. As he testified, he seemed excited about what he had done. Another off-duty police officer, this one from Wauwatosa, talked about
The funny thing, not the funny thing, the terrible thing here is, he actually did seem excited about what he'd done. And there's a lot of videotape and picture evidence of this, where he appears to be elated at what he was doing when he stuck his head out the window. He's looking behind him. He's seeing the carnage. And
Because he thought he was about to get away with it.
I don't even think he cared if he got away with it. He hoped he would. But the only reason that he was running in this whole situation was because he knew for a fact that he had made contact with Erica Patterson, that he hit her, all right, and he knew at this point in time, if Erica was not going to follow, and there was witnesses at this point, so
Right.
now he's looking at a very long time in prison, and nothing matters at this point other than getting away, doing whatever he wants to do. I don't think he ever thought he was going to get away. Maybe he did.
I think he thought he was going to get away from, like, through the parade and be able to get away from the police. I think he did think that at first.
Yeah. But no.
Until he completely killed people and ran everyone over and destroyed his vehicle, and then there was no getting away.
But no, I mean, the judge dispels everything in letting everyone know. I'm going to kind of end the show here, and we're going to finish up with the judge on our next show on what do we do? We do Friday? Is Friday our next one?
No, because you said we're doing members only on Friday. So are we doing it Tuesday or Friday?
I don't know. We'll figure it out, because members only on Tuesday does work out a lot better. So maybe we will continue this on Tuesday, and then Friday members only. I do like Friday members only. That does work out quite good. I do like it. What do you guys think? Is that okay? Can we do trial rewatches on Sunday and Tuesdays, and then do our members only on Fridays? Is that cool? I don't know.
You should write down the timestamp that we're at.
Oh, well, no, I already have them saved. It's just in this particular case. Well, Cal says it works for her. Okay, so it works for Cal. I'm
just gonna ignore you when you say that.
I didn't start this. I don't even know who did. Who started this cow thing? It wasn't me. It was somebody else.
Hey, Sister Sal.
Gary says it's good. Peculiar says it's okay. And James says it's good.
See? Crusty old witch doesn't like it.
No, Mom.
And I don't blame her.
Stop calling me cow. I wasn't. Somebody else did. It wasn't me.
You have been doing it ever since.
I'm sorry, Krusty Witch. But you know I love you, Krusty Witch. And you're my friend. But I was thinking we'll pick up the judge. I'm going to do probably 2 more DB streams. One's going to be to finish up this. And then we're going to get into just some odds and ends. You know, just some odds and ends. It'll be fun. Even Denise Melaninoff doesn't mind. She says, that's good. So yeah, we could do a Tuesday Darrell Brooks. Of course, Monday is always Monday. Responday thingy. Where, you know, we listen to the Flea Bags and then, you know, we kind of repeat their stupid a little bit.
There's a lot of that.
Crusty Witch says, you're not sorry, but a nice X could help that. Oh no! A hex! I'm gonna be hexed by Crusty.
Ooh, please leave me out of that hex.
You know I love you, my friend. I love all of you fine people. And thank you for joining us. I'm gonna let things go here. I have not seen a Rosalind Duke update for a stream. So I guess I'm probably
To be determined.
Yeah, I guess I'm probably not setting an alarm clock, but I'll leave my phone on and she can call me if she's going to do a stream. But I don't see anything. So maybe there's no Rosalind Duke snark stream this afternoon. I mean, it's 11 or 10:35 already. You would think she'd have that set up. By the way, there is this individual. I don't know if you guys know this. A channel that I've been pushing for a long time. His name is Jeremy Hales. I don't know if you've heard about him. He's been going through like a court thing. I'm not following. I don't know. He's been going through a court thing, and he does a stream on Sunday nights, and he seems like a nice chap. And I've been pushing his channel for a long time. Just been pushing it. I have gotten him up to like 740 some thousand subscribers. Nope, I just cut a power line to my exterior lights, trimming my bush. So nope.
I hope she's joking.
There won't be any Rosalind Duke stream because she was trimming her bush exteriorly. I don't think you can do that. You might want to talk to Boner Crusher before you start doing trimming your bush on the exterior. I think you have to keep that to yourself, Ross. I can't believe she had to use hedge trimmers for her bush. This is terrible.
Gotta be more careful when you're trimming that bush. Oh, you're not joking? Oh my god. You could have electrocuted yourself.
She just she,
And Jay's laughing.
she just she just trimmed her bush with a head trimmer. I mean, I'm sorry to hear that. It's the backyard. No, you can't, Roz. No, you can't. Side yard. Side yard. Backyard and front yards are not available. Side yard, you can do what you want to do. Talk
Yeah,
to both
it's the
our
side yard. Unfortunately, Jay's right.
Unfortunately, Jay is right this time. Jay is right this
Mark it down on the calendar.
But Rickle says, hey, neuter your turkeys, especially if named Jay. Yeah.
Or if you live in Omaha.
It's funny. I was so pissed when I saw it happen. I'm my own worst enemy. Well, I'm never your enemy, Rosalind Duke. I'm never.
Mhm.
I'm your.
I'm just glad you're okay, Roz, and nothing bad happened to you.
Yeah, and I'm also okay too, because I want to make sure that the bush was handled appropriately. That's one of the most important things.
Well, trimming a bush can be tricky, Jay.
I know. I'm transitioning here. Jesus shit, I know what you're talking about. I'm dealing with this on a daily basis. And yeah, the bush was unruly. I know what you're talking about, Ross. I've been dealing with this.
That's what happens when you let it go too long, Roz.
That's why I had Sheila. That's why I had Sheila over yesterday.
Oh, no. Prayers for Sheila.
I had mine handled. I'm no dummy. All right. Jay, Jesus shit. Yeah, I had Sheila. I was prepared. Peculiar says, shut your ass.
Yeah, shut your ass. It's time to go.
Oh, she's gonna be rewiring it herself. Oh, that's a good idea. I appreciate that. That's a good idea. You should definitely do that.
You can do it. I believe in you.
She's gonna rewire her bush.
I've done some electrical shit before.
Why haven't we grifted for Sheila's birthday? Trust me, when she was over the other day, she asked me, she goes, what the fuck have you grifted for my birthday, you bastard?
Oh, so Sheila's listening?
Yeah. She knows what's going on. She's like, what the hell? I'm a person.
So when she comes over every time and I tell Sheila I said hello, do you actually tell her?
No, of course I do. We should grip for Bad Bonnie.
I don't think it'll help.
Well, you know what? Apparently, Rosa Puke is not going to be having a stream today at 2:00 as she promised. But in the future, I'm sure she'll have one. If she does, I'll be there. I'll be there for Rosalind Duke as always, because I'm a good friend. I'm a good friend.
Uh-huh. Well, whenever you decide to do it, I think that would be awesome to have a Stacy update. Because I heard she's having an issue with feces.
I know I don't have to tell you I'm transitioning. I know. Shut up. Damn it, now I have to stream to griff for my own bush. Bros, it grows back. It grows back, is my understanding. You just got to be patient. This is so not going in a good direction.
Yeah, the stream. Stream is ending in an odd place.
I mean, my next stream is going to be to griff Rosalind's push. I mean,
That's good, Faves. That's very smart.
man. Well, on our next stream, we're going to be trying to raise money for Rosalind Dukes Bush. Yes, that's what we always do over here.
Please hit the like button before you rage quit.
Yeah, please hit the like button. I mean, it was a Darrell work stream. We'll be finishing this up on Tuesday-ish.
Tuesday-ish. Oh, no.
All right, my friends. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Ketchup. Thank you, and thank you for the gift memberships and the super chats and everything. I appreciate it, my friends. And as we always say over here, jump.
Shut your ass.
Shut your ass. Oh, I mean, all that.